This video we have two integrals to evaluate, and the instructions state to simplify each integrand and evaluate. So let's look at the first integrand, tangent of x over 1 plus secant of x. We know tangent is sine over cosine. Secant and cosine are reciprocals, so this would be the same thing as 1 over cosine of x. So we multiply the numerator and denominator by cosine of x. Let's see what we get. So this is sine over cosine, so the cosine and the denominator here will cancel. That'll leave me with sine of x in the numerator. The denominator multiplied by cosine, so cosine of x times 1 is cosine of x. And of course, again, 1 over cosine times cosine of x, the cosines cancel here. Give me a plus 1 here. I've still got the dx. So this gives me a different look at the integrand now. The derivative of cosine is minus sine. I got the sine of x in the numerator. Of course, the derivative of 1 is 0. So let's do this. I'm using the u substitution. Let u equal to cosine of x plus 1. And taking derivative of both sides on the left with respect to u, that's du. Derivative of cosine is minus sine of x, the dx. And I got a sine of x dx in the numerator. Let's multiply here by negative 1. Multiplying this side by negative 1 makes this a positive, and the other side will give you a negative here. So making the substitution then, sine x dx can be replaced by minus du. Put the minus side in front and the du here, and then the cosine of x plus 1, that's your u. And of course we have a formula for the integral of anything in the form du over u, or could be dx over x. This would be a minus the natural log of absolute u. But we always go back to the original variable, and u is cosine of x. So let's put cosine of x here, and of course the plus 1. And then we got the constant of integration here. So the final answer for this one then is minus the natural log of absolute cosine of x plus 1 plus the constant of integration. So that's your answer for the first one. The second one, we're going to simplify the integrand here. So secant of x can be written as 1 over cosine of x, because they're reciprocal, secant and cosine. Cosecant and sine are reciprocals. So cosecant can be written as 1 over sine. And then multiplying the numerator and denominator by sine of x here. So this again is replaced by 1 over sine. Secant is replaced by 1 over cosine. So multiplying numerator and denominator of this first fraction by sine. In the denominator, that's just going to give us a 1. Sine of x times 1 over sine cancel, that'd be 1. And in the numerator, it'd be sine of x over cosine of x, but that's tangent of x. So let me just rewrite it then. For the first fraction then, I can rewrite it as tangent of x. Okay, this first fraction simplifies to tangent of x. And of course, sine of x over cosine of x, that's tangent of x. You got the dx. So just using some basic identities, simplifying here. Tangent of x plus tangent of x, that's 2 times tangent of x. So there is an integral for the tangent of x. The integral for the tangent of x dx. And that is just going to be natural log of absolute cosine of x. And it's a minus here. So it's the integral of tangent of x dx is the natural log of cosine of x. And it's a minus here, and it's got a constant 2, so let's just be minus 2. And there's just an x here. So again, the integral of tangent of x dx is minus the natural log of absolute cosine of x. And of course the 2 came along for the ride. And it's plus the constant of integration. Now you should have access to this formula. But if it turns out that you haven't covered the formula, or the instructor doesn't give you access to it, you can do it this way also. So let's set it up over here on this side. If you want the integral of tangent of x dx, My students have access to this formula. If your instructor doesn't give you access to it, you can easily derive it. Just rewrite it. Use a u substitution. This would be, say, sine of x over cosine of x dx. And then we can use a u substitution here. U equal to cosine of x. So du would equal to the derivative of cosine, which is minus sine of x dx. And then again the minus sine of x dx. Let's do this. Let's multiply again. We did the last one by a negative. This will give me a minus here. I'm sorry, a positive here. The negative cancels, and you put the minus over here. So this sine of x dx can be replaced by du minus du, and cosine of x can be replaced by u. So we come back over here, and this will be a minus the integral of du over u. That's going to be a minus. Again, we use the formula natural log of absolute u, but u in this case is cosine of x. We get minus natural log of absolute cosine of x, and of course plus your constant of integration. Okay, so we use this formula for this one here, integral of tangent of x, but then you have a 2 in front. So that's how we get this 2 here. But anyway, this is the answer for this one. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.